Motel Hell is a 1980 horror comedy film directed by Kevin Connor, who's most famous for directing Land That Time Forgot, which is another B-movie cult classic, and starring Rory Calhoun, Nancy Parsons, and Nina Axelford. The movie follows farmer Vincent Smith, played by Rory Calhoun, and his younger sister Ida, played by Nancy Parsons, who operates a small rural motel named Motel Hello. Vincent's smoked meats are famous around town for their rich and unique taste, and as events arise, you realize that the special ingredient in Vincent's meats is that of human flesh, prepared and harvested in their secret garden next to their motel.
Well, you know as well as I do, it takes all kinds of critters
to make Farmer Vincent fritters.
Motel Hell isn't really popular, but since its release, it's acquired a cult following due to its dark comedy, gore, and over-the-top concept that almost seems to satirize slasher classics like Psycho and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I agree with that. I think the movie's really funny. Now, this is a low-budget movie, and you could even consider this a straight-up B-movie. I love B-movies, but when it comes to B-movies, one thing that differentiates a good one from a bad one is its self-awareness and commitment to its campiness. And Motel Hell does that perfectly. The characters of Vincent and Ida are so over the top that they're endearing, and you pretty much root for them throughout the whole movie, even though they're these crazy psycho killers. I caught myself even admiring the traps they set up along the road to force their victims to abandon their cars and head over to the motel. They're pretty clever. This movie has a perfect amount of camp. It knows how ridiculous its premise is, and it plays along with it just enough to make you laugh, but serious enough to make you care about what happens next. The music throughout the film, a bit country-ish, is pretty great. And the special effects, or the practical effects, especially that costume with the pig head, is pretty cool. By the way, doesn't it kind of look like Pigsy from the game Manhunt? Remember that game from back in the day? The idea of having a secret garden where you plant and harvest humans that are still alive, feed them and plump them up so their meat can be tasty and rich in flavor is so over the top, so sadistic, and honestly pretty funny. It actually reminded me of that one Treehouse of Horror episode from The Simpsons where the school staff is overfeeding their students to get them fat and meaty so they can cook and eat them afterward.
In fact, you might even say we just ate Ooter and he's in our stomachs right now. Wait, scratch that one.
But anyway, yeah, the whole secret garden stuff was really clever, and I love that they hypnotized them before killing them or plucking them out of the ground. I don't know why, but I found that so unnecessary that it's hilarious. So, well, what didn't work for me? For me, what didn't work in this movie is the characters of Bruce, the sheriff, and Sherry. I think they brought nothing interesting to the story. The fact that Bruce tried to basically rape Sherry twice and she was somehow still cool with that is so weird and gross, and it doesn't make sense if we were supposed to be rooting for Bruce to take down Vincent at the end. Also, Sherry wanting to get married to Vincent doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I missed something in the storyline, but that was so out of the blue for me. I guess she fell in love with Vincent because he saves her? But I don't really like that plotline. And Sherry and Bruce have a lot of screen time too, which sucks. In my opinion, the best thing about the movie is Vincent and Ida, and it just pains me that they could have had more screen time if it wasn't for Sherry and Bruce. I feel like these characters had so much potential that was cut short by those other two unlikable characters. Either way, it's an enjoyable movie, and I'm glad I own it on Blu-ray because I will most likely watch it again pretty soon. I would give Motel Hell a 6 out of 10. I would love to give it a higher rating, but oh man, Sherry and Bruce really killed it for me. But what do you think about the movie? Have you seen it? Leave it in the comments. And yeah, alright. That's the end of the video. Goodbye.